Welcome back to All Things EVM. My name is Aaron, and today I'd like to get back into my yield farms of the week, guys. So let's get on into the spreadsheet. Last week we had a pretty good week. We ended up with 3.77% weekly reward APR, which was fantastic. Only a gain of $512 on the week. However, TVL for this portfolio, I did drop down a little bit. I did have some Frentech LP in here, which bumped that up and did make some decent gains in there, but I took it out as it really didn't fit the model for this, as Frentech is so outside of what I do in yield farming, though it is a great opportunity to yield farm in. I just wanted to keep the portfolio a little bit more clean and just make the yield on the stables that I'm borrowing from all the ETH that I'm lending. If you haven't seen any of my videos on that thesis, guys, I'm lending ETH, I'm borrowing USDC, and I'm farming with it, and that is how I'm funding all of these different farms, guys. Currently, we have Elephant Futures crushing it for us, 0.5% per day, pretty consistent. As long as you add about $200 in liquidity to your Elephant Futures position, you are going to be keeping that 182% daily percentage, or 182% APR, that's 0.5% per day. It does decay a little bit every single day, so as long as you get that $200 in on the weekly basis, you keep that 50% every day pretty consistently, guys, which is awesome. And then we so right now on 1923 worth of liquidity, I'm making about 8.5 per day to $9 depending on the compounding. So I'm going to run that to 8.4 for this morning. Let's go over to Extra Finance, check out Weth Wells pool. Go to the trade tab. All right, refresh this just to make sure it's up to date. All right, we're making some great progress here, guys. USDC to Arrow at 28.22 worth of liquidity is making 9.79. That's not quite 0.5% per day. It's actually pretty low, 0.35%. But I still love stacking Arrow, guys, so I'm going to keep doing that. 28.22. Let's add that to, yeah, that's a decent little jump here. 28.22, and then how much did I make? 9.79. All right, so, and that auto compounds, guys, on Extra Finance. So that's anytime you're going to make rewards, it's going to auto compound back into your liquidity. So I'm up to 25.62. 25.62. It looks like Wells took a little bit of a correction yesterday, but still making 21.52 a day on that. It's pretty great. Just stacking Wells, stacking ETH, stacking Arrow and USDC there. And then we have the these next three pools are all Ramses forks. Ramses on Arbitrum is the first the first runner, and then we have Nile, which is on the Linea platform, and then Clio, which is on the Mantle L2. All of these are from the same team, guys, and on all of them right now I'm actually farming USDC to ETH, or USDT, stable to ETH, right? But all of them are currently out of range because over the weekend we did pop above 1850, which I believe was the top of my range on this, guys. Let's go look at Ramses. Yep, definitely 1.25% out of range now. I did make a little bit as it did dip into range for a little while yesterday. I claimed yesterday it was out of range at the time and then came back in. So I've got 24.83 of liquidity to reassign here, and what I'm going to do is probably send it back into the ETH USDC pool, but I wanted to see how the week got started, if ETH was going to drop on the the Ethereum ETF news, or if it was going to climb. If it's going to climb, I might just just re-range upwards, but if it's going to come down, I wanted to give it time to do so, and if it comes down, it'll come back into my liquidity pool. If it travels all the way through, I might even just take it out of the liquidity pool and keep it in ETH, as I do expect this to go up from here. But let's look at liquidity real quick and see what's doing well on Ramses right now. Let's see. We have 300% on ETH USDC. It was actually higher than that as of a couple days ago, so I'm missing out on that 300%, which is rough right now, but I do expect it to come back into range, guys. So we'll see what happens. Otherwise, I'll rearrange it. Otherwise, I don't see anything overly crazy here. 365% or 363% on ARB ETH. That might be an interesting pool to actually get into, guys, because ARB is down pretty low right now. And I would like some exposure to something that's ETH related instead of just USDC related. So I might get into this as a correlated pool. But there's also this ARB to USDC pool at 474%, so that might be interesting as well. I do think ARB is coming back up. It had a big release of tokens over the last month and a half. I believe in March is when it dumped a ton of tokens into its liquidity or into its circulation. So we had a drop from that, not only from the March highs, but also from dilution from the tokens being dumped into the market to those who are holding them. And then a bunch of people sold as they're taking profits. So, all right, let's get into Nile and Cleopatra before we go, guys. This one's actually almost in range already. This has a little bit higher of a threshold. So 259% currently. It is in range, it looks like. So we're going to continue to make some rewards there. Let's go back to liquidity. Look at any opportunities in Nile on Linea. 1000% right now on USDC to ETH. That is incredible. Now that would be on a pretty aggressive position of 0.5% above and 0.5% below. If you wanted to get into that, I think I'm somewhere in the neighborhood of 2% on either side, guys, and that's been doing really well for me. And I don't mind being in that 255% range, though I'd like to be a little bit higher. I'd like to be closer to 1% a day if it can be, but 2% a day and higher is ideal. So let's get in now to Cleopatra, see what's going on here. I'm just out of range there, so not too far out. Might come back in today. We'll see what happens with the price of ETH. If it goes above 3,900, I'm looking to rearrange, guys. But if it stays, at 2,900 or below, I'm going to keep my ranges where they're at. So liquidity again. Let's go to Epoch Rewards, see what's good right now. It looks like 575 on USDC to WETH, and that's the pool that I'm in. So we're enjoying that right now. Now there's this Mantle to METH. That could be a good one to get into. I do have a lot of Mantle ETH. And I like the Mantle token just like I like the ARB token. Although Mantle right now has potential to jump even higher, I think, than possibly ARB does. I think the chain is new enough to go multiples, guys. So getting into this pool could be pretty great for us if we wanted to, and at 481%, that'd be pretty impressive. Let's look at how aggressive you have to be to get into that, though. Is pretty highly aggressive. 2.5% though on either side isn't terrible, so I might look into that, guys. And then even a narrow, which is 5% on either side, looking at 240% APR. And this is not correlated assets, so this is METH to AUSD. So that's a stable to ETH, but what if we looked again at, I think there was the Mantle WETH. Yeah, just not a great APR there. Better APR on METH to WETH. Let's look at that as well. Well, 463%. That's a one tick though. That's too narrow. Looking for something like Mantle. Where was that Mantle to? Let's see, METH. There is METH Mantle. Let's click on that. 2.5% on the other side gets you 484%. 5% on each side gets you 242%. This looks like a really good pool to get into. I am probably going to rearrange into this if we see ETH start to go up from here. That would mean ETH is going to go up and Mantle is going to go up if we're seeing ETH go up. So that might be something interesting to get into. But again, if ETH goes or starts heading down, I'm going to stay in this pool as it will fall back into my range, and then I'll just hold it. So let's go back to the spreadsheets, and we have swap mode still. Swap mode is just getting me points for the most part. I think I'm making like $3 a day in whatever the S mode token is. Then Pendle to USDT, that did jump out of range. This is over on, got it rocking on Crystal here. Let's refresh this to see where it's at. Pendle's been on a run again. It's at all-time highs. Likely going to eclipse all-time highs very soon. If ETH goes up, it's definitely leaving the ballpark, right? So it's actually back into range today, which is surprising to see, although it is, yeah, it's against the stable, so I'm surprised to see that back down under $6, guys, as where Pendle's at. Actually, let's look at that to make sure I'm saying that correctly. Pendle is under $7. So it's come back into my range here. My range is currently 682 to 622. So anything under $6.82, I'm in range. And so it has bounced off of all-time highs and is coming back into range for me, and I'm making fees. So let's go. Let's see how much fees we've made over the last 24 hours. It was out of range for most of the day yesterday, so $12 in fees is not terrible. That is not automatically compounded back into it, so we'll have to look at that, see what I want to do with that compounding. 1948 is what I did have in there, so I have 1943 now. Not bad. Not that much of a dip on the capital price there. And I've already made some decent profit on this, guys. I think I started with 1,500 in this pool, actually, and then rearranged it up. So we're doing really well there. All of these are actually in profit right now that I can tell. Yeah, every single one of these are in profit as of right now, and that's pretty fantastic. So we're going to continue to rock this, guys. Please let me know if you have any questions in the description below. And we're making good money. You know, I'd like to be hitting closer to $1,000. We typically do that on a regular basis as far as fees go. Last week I did have the Friendtech LP wrapped into this, and that's not reflected here. I did make a decent amount of money in there as well, so that wasn't quite half, but I was closer to 700-800 with the Friendtech LP. But now I've taken it out because it's not really a part of the ETH borrowing strategy. But yeah, let's keep rocking, guys. Let me know if you have any questions, again, in the comments below. What are you farming, guys? And speaking of Friendtech, I do have a Farmers Club on there, so I'll leave a link in the description below for that, as well as the co-op that I'm a part of. I do help run, or I'm admin for a Yield Farmers co-op. We're doing a 49-week challenge right now to get you out of any financial debt right now, or maybe get you out of your day job, guys. By joining that, we do promise to help you get rid of whatever it is that you're financially not loving a part of your life right now. I know that's pretty vague, but a lot of people have different goals, and I want to, you know, we're helping people start a business essentially of yield farming on chain. And surprisingly, the average age is actually my age or up in that. So if you're, we'd love to have some more younger people in there, but for the most part, we're getting a lot of people that are interested in actually starting a business and preparing for retirement, for future, getting out of their 9-to-5s, whatever they want to do, and getting a lot of success there. So I'll leave the link in the description for that below as well. And if you're a self-starter, guys, I do have a 10-video course on how to get started in yield farming as well, so I'll put that in the description. But like, subscribe, hit the notification bell for more content just like this. Have a great day, and God bless.